Hi everyone, it's Deb. We're going to be doing something different this time. This is a YouTube program from PandaHall Selected, and I had gotten 3 items. One is a whole resin type kit, but we're going to start with these pieces, which are wood. Here's the item number, EJEW-GA0001-02P. I will link it down below, as well as the website for PandaHall Selected. And I'm going to do sort of a process video, but it's going to be kind of bunched up in pieces, because what I need to do, these are apparently for heat transfer. There's a name for it, I forget. And what drew me to it was these, but I'm not going to do heat transfer. I'm going to paint instead, but I want to start with something fairly simple, like maybe these. These are all lightweight because they're wood. Possibly, I want to start with the crosses. I want to save them and do them later. I'm thinking maybe these. And the stars and the hearts I'll do later. Actually, these would be good too. So I'm going to start with those, and I'm going to save these for holiday time or another video or something like that. And I will also do the feathers because I really like them. And this came with earring hooks, but they have bails on them. So at some point we'll get to that as well, but not yet. Because the first thing I know that we have to do, and at some point I also got these GLAA-SC001-53. It's a box of check glass flower beads, which I showed in my unboxing. So I'll probably be using some of them, but they'll be towards the last steps. So the first thing we're going to have to do on all of these is there's a plastic film on them. I'm looking for my hokey tool, and let me start with maybe this one. I see a little bubble here. We're gonna have to take that plastic film off on both sides. I don't know if you leave that on when you're doing heat transfer, because I've never done it. I don't think so. I think I saw a video where you have to remove that too. But then it is a very shiny surface underneath. So the second thing is we're going to have to sand it, and I don't know if I'm going to do that on camera or not. I kind of think not. I might show a little bit of it because it'll be hard to show you the finished, you know, that it's no longer shiny kind of thing. So anyway, that's the first thing we're doing, is taking off these plastic films that are on the wood pieces. And make sure you get it all, because it might stick there. That one's done. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with all these, and then I'll come back and maybe we will sand one or two together. Hey everyone, so I made a decision that I'll paint these two, but these three, I am also a paper crafter on my other channel, and I have a lot of scraps. So for these, I'm going to actually decoupage paper on the front and back. It has like an oil paint kind of look to it, and I like this color. So that's what I'm going to do with this, and I do plan on painting the edges too. I don't think I want them brown like that, at least on that piece. And then for the circles, I tried using a die, and I think I just dropped that, my smallest circle die, but it is a little bit too small. So I traced and fussy cut around, and I think I'm just going to paint the back on those. Probably a pink or possibly a green. I'm not sure yet. And then this one I'm the least happy with. I'm also going to paint that a green. I may actually put a bluish background over this paper, but this is from here. You can see where I cut them out. Or I could have just used that side. That would be actually pretty cool, but I don't want the lines in it. So, but something like this even would have been okay if I had seen that. That's the reverse of the, I don't know. I'll stick with what I have, but I do think I'm gonna lightly color the backs of that blue, like a pale blue, before I decoupage them on. So like I said, the first thing I'm going to have to do is sand all of these, and then I'm going to be using something like a Mod Podge, which is a water-based sealer, glue, and finish, to put them on, the papers on. And for these, once I sand them, I'll be using, well actually I'm going to use a gesso first, and then all over both sides. So it's going to take a while for them to dry. So sand, then gesso or white gesso, which just gives it a nice surface for stuff to adhere to, and it'll also cover this brown part of the wood, which I don't think I want to show actually. Yeah, I probably do not. And then I can paint and then seal, or in the case of the paper, I can lay down some Mod Podge and then seal these on. I believe that's the direction I'm going to go, but for those, I need to paint them first and let them dry. So this is going to be a multi-step process, and I'm just going to show you the results at the end of each step. So that's where I'm at. I just selected papers and made decisions that I'm going to paint these two. This will be various greens, I think, and this I'm leaning towards like blue-gray, blues and grays, or blues and purples perhaps. I'm not exactly sure yet on the colors, but I have a lot of work to do, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, okay, I'm back. I got out some supplies. I have a whole bunch of paintbrushes. I think these are probably better ones that I got from my mom's place when she went into her home. I don't know, they feel really good, and I don't know if I want to use those on these, but I do have this one. I have a couple cheaper ones, and that's what I'm going to mostly use. Sorry, I don't know if that's a cheaper one or not, but anyway, so I got paintbrushes. I got this vintage sanding block. I have two of them. You want a fine, or actually this part is a better one. I'm going to use the newer one. I was going to use the old one, but I think this has more sand stuff on it, and that is meant to use on metal. After you put the patina on, you can scrape some of it off, because I have a whole, this half of this basket is all vintage patinas. They don't sell them anymore. And it says on them for all metal. So I haven't used them in a long time. I also have a set of these Lumiere. I think they can be used, let's say, to set color on fabric. Okay, but I've seen these used on metal and other things too. And then what I'm going to use today, after I get them prepped, are these new Ultimate paints, and they're for various surfaces, but I got them at Softflex, and they got them to use on wood. So it's Colorful Soul Ultimate paint, and I'm going to probably use these three colors. There's also like a silver clear kind of thing, and this citrine, but I'm not going to use those today. I'm going to be using, I might mix these two for this one, and I'm going to use this Petal Light pink for the back of this one, and maybe the sides of it too. I don't know. I could also use this green because it looks like it goes with it. I'm undecided. I might put green on the edges and pink on the back. I'm not sure. But the first thing we have to do is sand all this. So I'm just going to take and rough these surfaces up. Oh, and then I did bring out some, hopefully it's still good, semi-opaque acrylic primer gesso. I have some white acrylic quick drying matte paint. And I have some Mod Podge to stick everything down with for the ones I'm going to put paper on. So I'm just going to do this, sorry for the noise, both sides. And then I'm going to wipe them off with a very damp, a lightly damp cloth, because I don't want residue on these. And you see it's roughing it up a bit, right? And I don't know if there's any right or wrong way to do this, but that's how I'm going to do it. So let me come back after I'm done that and we'll do the gesso together. Alright, so I'm going to use this brush because I think it'll cover the areas better. I've already sandpapered them all. This is a semi-opaque acrylic primer. And I just want really a thin layer to make it paint ready or paper ready. And I'll probably go over, now see, this is going to be a problem because I have it on both sides. So I'm going to have to do one side at a time and maybe the edges. And then let it dry and come back and do the other side. So that one is I'm gonna move it to this tray because otherwise it's gonna be stuck onto the paper. I would recommend working on a craft sheet or even just the Tim Holtz mat that's under here, something like that, which is a glass mat. So yeah, just do one side at a time. So that's what I'm gonna do. I want to get it on pretty even. You don't need a whole lot, especially these are white on the top. I'll do the edges of those when I do the other side, actually. Well, actually, maybe I will do the edge now too. Just go around like this. It's just hard for me not to touch them. Maybe I'd recommend doing the edges first, then doing one side and then letting that dry and flip it over. I'm thinking that on some of these I'm going to go around the edges with a gold or silver paint pen. I have some I think the brand is Sharpie paint pens. These are kind of streaky. It's hard for me to see with this light myself. Let's try going around the edge with this one first. Go like this, because I don't want the natural wood look there. I mean, I know they're lightweight and they are wood, but I want them to be decorative and pretty. If I was using like shell beads or, you know, something like that, or wood beads with it that weren't colorful, I would consider leaving it a natural wood on the edges, and maybe I'll do that with these feathers and green ones. Okay, I'm getting more on me as expected than anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these and leave the edges. I'm gonna try not to get the edges white and on those, and either I'll leave them natural or possibly paint them green or something too, or blue. So that's what I'm going to do and let them dry, and then I'm going to do a second coat. You don't need to watch that. I'm going to second coat on the other side, and then when I come back we'll decoupage the papers and start painting. Hey everyone, it's Deb. I might have a change of plans. I might be using acrylic paint on these. I put gesso on both sides of these already. They're not quite 100% dry. The reason is, since these are going to be only painted, I've been playing because I'm going to be covering these up. So I did the sides, which was I just had one little coat of gesso on it, but it wasn't shiny before with the ultimate paint, and it worked beautifully. But when I went to do the back, let me show you the pink one, because this one is the ultimate paint in Petalite. I don't know if you can tell, but it is bubbling, and I brushed it originally off. I'm going to brush it again because you see what's happening. It's not really adhering well. So I don't know what's happening, because I sanded them and I put gesso on them, but it's not adhering well. Now this is an experiment also, and on the edges of this, which I probably just ruined, I did use the Sharpie gold paint marker. Now that is oil based. I'm only covering one side of the pink, so this back is supposed to be painted nice. So what I think I'm going to do is get as much of this off of here as I can. So look at that, it comes right off. It's not adhering. So lesson learned, the ultimate paint from Vintage adheres better to plain wood, because I have used this before. Let me get that and I'll show you. I started a necklace before from a Softflex kit. So I'm actually gonna wipe as much of this off as I can and sand it down again once the edges are dry from the gold. Also, part of my issue is I don't have any patience. I'm going to have to get sandpaper, and a regular sandpaper, I think. Sand that off good. And here, same thing. I mixed the blue and the green. I'm going to try and let those dry, but I'm definitely, and then the edges came out just fine, but I'm probably going to sand some of that off and use acrylic paint on these as well. The other side, I don't care if it's a little messy there, because that is going to be covered in paper. Same on this one. And then here, since it wasn't adhering, I went and got this patina for metal, and I mixed, I used emerald, but then I put a little verdigris on top after I shook them well, and that worked better, but it's also bubbling. So I'm gonna let that dry. I didn't do the other side of that either. Now this one, I'm gonna just sand it off and put Mod Podge, because I'm gonna adhere paper on both sides. So it was sort of an experiment. And again, the edges I did in the well, I started to do in the ultimate paint, and it had adhered fine. Let me get that other necklace. I'll show you in a minute. See, with this necklace, this was a vintage wood piece, and the Petalite pink paint, and it was, forgive my fingers, it was turning out beautifully, but it's just plain wood with a little burnt edge, and I didn't do anything on the edge or the back. So maybe it's because it had that shiny coating, even though we took the plastic off and we sanded, but maybe that's not enough. So this was something I started like 2-3 months ago, and I never finished it. So yeah, anyway, this was a vintage piece I got from Softflex, and they have several different ones. So that's not part of this video, but I just wanted to show you that the ultimate paints do work on the plain wood. I think it's something to do with the white surface. So I'm hoping the decoupage works better, and for these I'm thinking I'm gonna have to use acrylic paint, because I don't think these paints made just for wood are gonna work. All right, I'll be back. Hey everyone, welcome to part 2. The other part was filmed back in July 23rd, and I just never got the video up. I was hoping to get it all done at once, but it didn't happen. So everything's been sitting for a while, and I apologize to PandaHall Selected. They did contact me and explained I've had just disaster after disaster happening at my house, and I've been drained, and I still have one disaster, but it's a minor one, and hopefully it'll be resurrected or resolved on Tuesday. Anyway, I was gonna save these to show you, and I think I did show you that the paint on these was bubbling up. So I actually went to my local Walmart and I bought several 2 boxes of brights and a basic paint kit, acrylic paints, I mean, green, sky blue, Caribbean, and then this pink I think I bought separate because it's a different brand. And they had some individuals, but these other ones I got in a box set. And I got 2 of them because I went to my paints and I don't really have that many other than black and white and maybe one like red or something. But and I wanted more colors. So what I did is I didn't have any regular sandpaper, but I did have steel wool, and I sanded off all those bubbly areas on the ones that were painted before, and this one's turning out pretty nice. It does have a little bit of bubbling, but not as bad. This one's a little streaky. I have to let it really dry. I'm really bad about waiting. My patience is thin. These 2 I had not painted at all before. I did take the steel, but I had put gesso on and maybe white paint. I used the steel wool on those 2 because I didn't want them to bubble. They're a little streaky. I'm going to give them another coat. They already have 2 coats. This one has some of the Kelly green and a little bit of the Caribbean. I've got them in the dish here. Oops, and I just stuck my thumb in that. This one is called Sky Blue. I had wanted to do like a light blue / gray, and this kind of covers both. Now, that said, I haven't done the other side, so I need to give it another coat, let it dry, flip it over, do the other side. And for these other ones, I need to let them dry, maybe do another coat on the pink, I think, and this one. This one I think will be all right. Once it's dry, I'll be able to flip it over and adhere the pieces I had cut out for Mod Podge, and then do the, now I think I'm going to do the edges of these in the paint also. This one I'm not sure of. This one I might, it looks like I had tried to do that already, so I might do the same with that, or I might use, I'm thinking silver paint pen on the edges of that one. Anyway, and then I'm gonna wait and just come back and show you the finished product. And that said, on 3 of them I'm going to be using another PandaHall Selected. I think I have to see how it's gonna look, but I'm kind of thinking I want to have some sparkly dangle on the earrings, and I bought these little flower beads, so this will go good with either this one, or I'm thinking I'm gonna use it mostly on these 2 that's not gonna have the paper decoupage on. These 3 are gonna have decoupage, so I might put some flowers on here because there's a flower on the paper, and I like the pink, but I'm not sure about that one yet. And I also think I'm going to add some other little beads and have kind of a dangle coming down the feather using the little flower beads that I got from PandaHall Selected. Also, the ear wires with the bail in the kit, I'll be using those from PandaHall Selected as well. So I will let you go. I don't want to hold you up, and hopefully the next time I come back it will be with finished project, but I'm trying to show you what I'm doing as I go. There's not a problem with the product at all, but it is meant for heat transfer images, and I've never done that, so I didn't know that I'd have a hard time with the paint adhering, even though I put gesso on. So I probably would recommend that if you buy these wood pieces, you use them as intended for the heat transfer. I think it would work better. Now it does seem to be taking, with gesso, it seems to be taking the acrylic paint better than the paint intended for wood, which I guess must be, which is this stuff that I have. This must be more for bare wood, not wood covered in a white surface of any kind. So because I've used it and it worked on bare wood just fine, so I thought it would work on this too. It's a little streaky even though I've sanded them, and I don't mind it on this because I'm doing two-tone. I want it to look like a tropical leaf with two colors, the Kelly green and the Caribbean. This is just Caribbean on top of whatever I used, which I think was a combination of this ultimate paint in blue fluorite mixed with green opal, but I'm covering that up with the Caribbean. And so yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I will come back and share the finished project. And so if you're interested, you could get this product to do the same, peel off the plastic. I still have more shapes in here I can do. I might put leather on top this larger drop. I'm not 100% sure yet. And I think I'm just going to bare paint the crosses, or possibly just bare paint them in metallic paint for those, and the star possibly. I'm not sure yet, but those will be down the road sometime, because I have another product I bought that I haven't even opened yet, and I have to get working on that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright, so we'll just do one. Oops, it's this one. That'll show you, and then the other ones, you know, will be the same, except that these, I'm going to bring in more beads, and I think I'm going to have a dangle go down the front. Oh, and on these, I used a pale blue called Sky Blue, but I actually added, that was on this side, see? I did it on this side too, but I added just a little bit of Admiral Blue, which is really dark, so I only need a tiny little bit. I smoothed that over, and then I put another coat right away of the Sky Blue on to get this sort of variation in color. I may play around with that a little more, and these two, once I'm finished with I'm happy with the coloring, I don't think I'm going to use Mod Podge. This already has it on. This does not. I have a spray can of a sealant, and you have to use it outside. So I think on these in particular, these I might leave alone. I will take that outside and on my sidewalk or something and do it. So I just did a simple, I'm sorry, I'm doing a wrapped loop. And I can do that because the ear wires actually open. And so does this because it is an eye pin. So it's not 100% secure because, even though it has a wrapped loop, because those other parts are, and I'm sure you've seen wrapped loops done in the past. And this is just a glass pearl on top of these. So all we're going to do, we're going to take the ear wire back off. And we're going to put this on here by just opening and closing that ear wire, and then we'll do this one. Do it with this one. What I'm saying is, open this first, put it on your bail, close it up, and then make sure that's good and tight. And then let's do our wrapped loop, because we can have that face sideways, actually. Alrighty, where's my other pliers? Right in front of my nose. So now, and that makes it, gives it a little more dangle. It does add length. If you don't want that, then leave the bead off, but I think it adds a little something to it. Now this, I know it has to be sideways, but I'm gonna not worry about that until I actually get the wrap wrapping done, and then I can fix which direction it goes. So I just did a 90-degree angle. I know on my pliers that's about where I want to go, and I did that 90-degree angle right at the very tip of my pliers, and I have found that gives me a good 3 loops. Now if you want, you could hook this right onto the ear wire. I am not going to, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to twist this so that the direction of the bottom part is correct. I'll make sure I'm in frame. It's a little fuzzy, I'm sorry. And I'm not going to bother doing all of these with you on here, because you know what I'm talking about, right? Pretty sure you do. And let me squish that down, that tail, if I can see it. I am not at my jewelry making desk, so I don't have my my extra eyes here. All right, so right now, if I hold, let's see, is that going that way? Yeah, but I have to turn it so that it's going this way. Oops. Perhaps. There we go. And then let's take this one back off, put the ear wire on here. And I want to make sure that the front of the ear wire is facing the front of that picture. That's the key thing there. If you have it just painted like on the leaves and you don't really care, but even on my leaves, I think I care. All right, so that's that. Now, see, I thought I had it right. I'm so bad that way, but I do not. I have it backwards. And I do apologize for my nails. They were clean this morning, but I've been playing with this paint stuff all day. And I really want to get this video up. There. So I think they're cute. And that's what I'm going to do for these leaves also. I'm going to put the darker green right above them with the white pearl to bring out the white in the paper that I used. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one next. And I think they're really cute. And actually, they're very lightweight. Alrighty, so that's what I'm going to do to finish them. And I hope you enjoyed. I know it was a long video, and I apologize for that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this pair and this pair. And probably later in the week, actually. I'm not going to put beads on this one. I changed my mind on that. I kind of just like the color of the paper. I just like them, and they're lightweight, and they're blue on the back, so it's sort of a teal and blue and green, like looks like oil paint, but it's actually paper that looks like that. And then the back is acrylic paint. So let me know in the comments, have you painted wood, and if so, what is your process for doing it? Do you like Mod Podge? And also, my Mod Podge is a matte. I actually might go over these flowers with, if I don't use that sealant, I might go over them with a glossy accents or something and make them shiny. I think I want the matte for the leaves here, and also the feathers. I like the matte look on those. And these, like I said, I'm going to bring in some other beads, and I'm going to have a dangle going down the front. Not too much, maybe 3 or 4, but a little bit of chain and some dangles, including these light blue flowers that I got from PandaHall Selected. Alrighty, so my next video, which will be my last one, is either going to be resin, or I may not do that because I don't know how it's going to turn out, and it will be long. But I may do some more things with these little flowers, some different things with them. So that's what I'm planning. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And, well, you know, yeah, and have a good day. I was going to say let's finish this pair, but I don't want to hold you anymore. All right. Have a great day. Bye.